Alright, so in this video what we're going to do is we are going to try to make our job dispatch kind of like the Laravel way. So instead of calling the push method from our custom job, we should be able to do something like dummy job and then dispatch. We should be able to call this dispatch function in our job, and then we should be able to set the priority of the queue by calling this function on queue. And then in this video we will add something like delay as well. So if we do something like delay 10 seconds, then after 10 seconds only the job will be processed by the worker. Alright, so I'm just gonna comment this out for oops. So this is our reference point. We're going to make everything class and objects just to make sure that we should be able to dispatch the job by this way. Alright. Uh, to do that, let me first add some dispatch method inside our dummy job. Here we should be able to have something like static dispatch method, but instead of adding in dummy job, I'm gonna make the trait so that it can be implemented by multiple jobs. Here, let me create a new file that would be interact with queue. Let me rename it once more. It should be .php here. Let me just copy and paste it in here. Remove everything. The name should be interact with queue, and then instead of class, it should be trait. Looks good. Now here what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a new method called dispatch. Function dispatch. Alright. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna implement this trait inside this interact with queue. So instead of new dummy job, I'm gonna say something like dummy job interact. Sorry, dispatch. It should give no error. Perfect. Here we come inside dispatch. I'm gonna for our method chaining, I'm gonna create a new class that should be called PendingCustomDispatch.php. It should be inside this customs of folder. I'm just moving it up here. Let me copy and paste everything. It should be PendingCustomDispatch, and instead of trait, I'm gonna have class in here. Perfect. Oops. Now I'm gonna do something like create a constructor. I'm gonna define the members. Let me do something like here. Okay, protected $job, and then string $q equals to, by default I'm gonna make this one default, and then delay is 0. These are the by default parameters we are setting for this class. So we had function called onQHigh. I'm gonna create that function onQ, and it should be string this.q equals q, and then I should return this for our method chaining, because it should not be dispatched. Let me remove this one, and then public function. I'm gonna give delay here in seconds. This delay equals seconds, and return this. All right. And I'm the thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna add a destructor. In here, let me copy the code from custom job and then copy and paste it in here. Instead of q, I'm gonna do this q, and instead of job, I'm gonna do this job. This looks good. Now, in this dispatch method, what I'm gonna do is I just need to create the object of this and then call everything, right? So for that one, let's create the object of this pending custom job class. Now in the parameter, what we're gonna pass is, first of all, let me add the arguments here. New static $arguments. This should do the trick. Actually, this new static is same as new dummy job and then the parameters, whatever the parameters we're passing. So this is basically like uh, uh, basically like we are passing this object of our dummy job inside this pending custom dispatch, so that this job is actually the object of dummy job, and then onQ and delay are calculated via this method chaining. Okay, so let me just comment this out. For now, let me remove the delay as well. So now what happens is dummy job and dispatch, this should actually create an object of pending custom dispatch, and then with that object I'm gonna call this onQ method, and onQ method sets this q as default, or whatever I'm gonna passing it is high. So where is it? Okay, this should set our construct q to be high, and then once we have once this object is destructed, it will store our job inside our custom jobs table with the value of list.q, and then job would be job. Let me just delay should be available at plus delay. We are just delaying the available at time. using the parameter. Oops, did I do something wrong? Wait, let me, yeah, this is good. Let's test it out in our browser. This sub, and let's see. Here in this sub, we have our job with the priority of queue high. Perfect. Looks good. Now let's just run our worker. For now, let me just remove this file as well. We don't need it now. Perfect. Where is our worker? Here it is. I'm gonna run our worker as well in here. High, default, low. Okay, this sub has been processed, right? So now let's add the delay as well. Here, let's give it 10 seconds. Now, if I do refresh this page, it's not currently processing because it will take 10 seconds to process the job. So hopefully after 10 seconds, all right, perfect. We can see the 40 ID of job is processed after 10 seconds. So this is working fine. So now this is a bit more like Laravel kind of thing instead of our previous way of dispatching the job. This is a bit more eloquent. So yeah, this is what I was planning to show you guys on this video. So I think I'm gonna wrap this video up for today.